Hello again, everybody. I'm Scott Casper, and it's time to take a look at this week's news from USA Wrestling, the national governing body of our sport. From all of us at USA Wrestling, we'd like to take a moment to wish you a wonderful Thanksgiving weekend. It's the fourth year that we've shared this holiday together with the wrestling community through this program and more. We hope that all of you are having a blessed time with family and friends. Thanksgiving is a time to be thankful, to share food and friendship with loved ones, but it's also a time for wrestling. For three OS teams, the holiday week will be spent doing just that. A men's freestyle squad will compete at the Brazil Cup, a combined men's and women's freestyle event at Henri Delgain in France, and a club freestyle team from Titan Mercury at the World Clubs Cup in Iran. And a Greco-Roman squad will spend time at a joint training camp in Russia. Now, the college season doesn't stop either. Two major dual meets will take place over the weekend, with Oklahoma State traveling to the Twin Cities to face the Gophers of Minnesota. Arch rivals Iowa and Iowa State will battle it out in Iowa City, and 18 top college programs will participate in the Journeyman A6 Northeast Duels in Troy, New York. Well, the high school wrestling season is also here. Teams from around the nation are preparing for competition in December. So as a wrestling family, we have a lot to be truly thankful for. With that, let's take a trip to Ithaca, New York, on the campus of Cornell University. A capacity crowd came out to witness the first ever Global Wrestling Championships. It was sponsored by the Titan Mercury Wrestling Club. The new promotion features Olympic caliber wrestlers competing for big money and championship belts. As part of the main card, 3 men's freestyle bouts were held with $30,000 in prize money up for grabs. The winners each earned $7,500 and the championship belt, while the losers went home with $2,500. Not a bad payday either way you look at it. Won the first title bout, 2014 World Team member and NCAA champ for Iowa, Tony Ramos, took on a 2012 Olympian and 4-time All-American from Oklahoma, Sam Hazwinkle. That was a finals rematch from the 2014 World Team Trials. After a scoreless first, Ramos won the second round 2-0 on a single-leg takedown with just 30 seconds left. Well, the third round was also scoreless, and then Ramos scored a spin-behind takedown and a snatch single to win round 4, 4-0. In the fifth and final frame, Ramos added a low single-leg takedown and a 2-point ankle lace turn to win the round 4-0. When it was over, Ramos was crowned the featherweight champ, taking 3 rounds to 0 with the cumulative score of 10-0.
What's next for Tony Ramos?
We're heading out to Iran tomorrow, so getting ready for that.
What are you most looking forward to on that trip?
Competing against the top people, around the world, the best club teams. Getting a lot of mad experience.
Congratulations, nice job.
Thank you.
Next up, 2 big guys. It was a heavyweight title bout featuring 2012 Olympian and 2-time world bronze medalist Travel Delagnev up against 2014 University World Champ Tyrell Fortune. Well, the talented veteran Delagnev proved too much for the young star Fortune. Delagnev scored a single-leg takedown for a 2-0 win in the first, and then added a spin-behind takedown and a push-out in the second round for a 4-0 lead. Delagnev closed out the match with 2 spin-behind takedowns in the third for another 4-0 score. The bout was stopped after 3 rounds because Delagnev won all 3. The final score, Delagnev 9, Fortune nothing.
I just try to have fun. I try to enjoy the sport, enjoy the process. I know that, I was, my first team in 2009. I was the youngest on the team. This year I was the oldest. So that's how it goes. That's just part of life. That's part of the sport. But it's a lot of fun. Guys like Fortune pushing me. I know, he's a world champ in his own right. He won the University World Championship. So, definitely a great wrestler. So yeah, keeps me honest, keeps me focused. And it's just, it's a lot of fun because that's what it's about. Because, they have to beat me to be the best, but I have to beat them to be the best too. So it goes both ways.
Well, the main event was a little different. It was an agreed-upon 3-round freestyle bout at welterweight. 4-time NCAA champ Kyle Dake returned to Cornell, where he became the first to win 4 NCAA titles in 4 different weights. His opponent, past NCAA champ and 4-time All-American for Wisconsin and later Oklahoma, Andrew Howe. Well, the match was Dake's first since February of 2014 when a foot injury knocked him out for the remainder of the season. Dake opened strong, scoring a takedown with 9 seconds left in the first for a 2-0 lead. Neither athlete could score in the second or third rounds, and based on the 3-round agreement, Dake was awarded the championship belt by scoring the only points of the match.
He's a great competitor. He's a tough opponent, and I just had to go out and wrestle my match. I didn't get as many shots off as I wanted to. Didn't clear the ties like I wanted to, but got the victory in the end.
You are so stingy defensively. You create an offense. That late takedown, final 5 seconds, first period. Just talk about that approach and walk us through that takedown.
One of the big things that I've been working on is scoring at the end of periods. Scoring on the whistle, scoring at the end of the periods are really important. It makes a difference in a match. It can really deflate a guy if he gives up a takedown within the last 10 seconds. So that's what I've been working on, and that was one highlight for sure.
In preliminary action, the Titan Mercury Wrestling Club shut out the Finger Lakes Wrestling Club 5-0 in a freestyle dual meet. 3 of the Titan Mercury victories came by tech fall: Joe Colon at 134, Montel Marion at 143, and Ron Wynn at 189. Colon needed just 48 seconds to defeat Dalton McCree 10-0, scoring 2 takedowns and 3 gut wrenches in the opening round. Marion jumped to a 7-0 first period lead over Joe Galasso and then hit a 4-point fireman's carry to end the bout at 11-0, just 17 seconds into the second period. Wynn also dominated in both positions. He scored 3 takedowns and 2 gut wrenches to defeat Ben Bennett 10-0 late in the first period. Other winners for Titan Mercury include Nazar Kolchitsky, who stopped Nate Carr Jr. 11-6 at 154, and Wynn Mahalik, who scored a first period takedown and a gut wrench to defeat Enoch Francois 4-0 at 213. We talked with Wynn Mahalik.
Titan Mercury is doing a great job bringing in some great wrestlers. We're having training camps together, so we're training with the best guys in our country. But they realize that we got to go compete against the best in the world. So they're not anticipating how much it's going to cost to get us over there and compete against all those guys. They just know that we got to do it. We got great coaches like Coach Alger, who supports us when we go overseas, and Titan Mercury is just doing a wonderful, wonderful job of supporting us, competing against the best in the world, not just the best in our country.
All right, if you missed the original version, you can catch the replay at gfl.tv. Stay tuned. We're going to take a quick time out. Back on the other side. You're watching USA Wrestling Weekly.
ASICS has been there. They've been the lifeblood of the sport. It's been a long time, and they've been at the top of the game every year, forever. And I'll tell you what, now that I think about it, maybe that's where I've gotten my inspiration, because I always want to be in the top of my game in wrestling, and I think that's where ASICS is and wants to be as well.
Hi, I'm Wayne Boyd, Director of Operations and Development for Titan Mercury Wrestling Club. The club was founded to help wrestling worldwide, especially at our senior level, of course at the collegiate level and the high school level. But the most important level for Titan Mercury Wrestling Club is the kids level. And these are some of the guys today that will be tomorrow's Olympic champions. Let's hear it, guys.
Titan Mercury!
That's Titan Mercury Wrestling Club, San Marino, California.
Well, a team of USA Greco-Roman wrestlers entered the Oleg Karavayev International in Minsk, Belarus last weekend. The 8-team field included 7 strong Greco nations, including 2 teams from Belarus. The U.S. squad featured a mix of veterans and some rising young stars. In Pool B, Team USA lost their first dual meet to a tough Belarus 2 team, 8-0. They came back strong, however, against Poland, but fell by a 5-3 margin. The first U.S. victory came from Sam Jones, who stopped the 2012 University World Silver medalist Mikhail Trax of Poland 11-9 at 130 pounds. At 176, 2012 Olympian Ben Provisor took a 4-2 decision over the very talented Mateusz Wolny, and the Americans received a forfeit win at heavyweight. Next up, Russia. The U.S. again came up short, 7-1 the margin. 2010 World Team member Jake Fisher earned the lone victory for Team America, defeating 2010 Junior European bronze medalist Bilan Nalgiev of Russia 8-7 at 165. Now Russia would go on to win the tournament, while Belarus 1 took second and Belarus 2 claimed third. National Greco-Roman coach Matt Linden weighed in on the performance of Team USA.
They came in flat for that first match. We had a pretty good second round match against Poland. We won a couple matches against very tough opponents, and then we faced Russia in the third bout, and they have a phenomenal team right now. And we ended up getting a win. Fisher had a great match. He was willing to take some chances, make some risks, and it paid off with an 8-7 victory over a very tough guy.
Well, USA Wrestling has now added another talented Greco-Roman coach to the national coaching staff. Ahad Javan Salehi has been named as the assistant national Greco-Roman coach. He joins head coach Matt Lindland and assistant coach Momir Petkovic. Javan Salehi was an official coach with the 2014 U.S. World Team in Tashkent, Uzbekistan. He also coached with the 2013 U.S. World Team. He's coached U.S. teams on a number of foreign tours and assisted at national team training camps. He also brings coaching experience on the high school and club level in Oregon and Utah. He's a native of Iran. Ahad was a two-time Olympian and a top coach before emigrating to the United States. We talked to him about his new position.
I would like to thank everyone that helped me to have this privilege, and I feel very blessed to be part of USA wrestling family. I am hoping that all of us put hand to hand together and make USA Greco-Roman wrestling one of the best that it used to be.
Well, this week, the Flow Premier League will hold its second professional card. Two big matchups held alongside the Journeyman A6 Northeast Duels in Troy, New York. Takes place Saturday, November 29. In the headline event, 2014 World Team member and three-time NCAA champ Ed Ruth will square off with 2013 World Team member and past NCAA champ Keith Gavin. Now, this is a Penn State versus Pitt rivalry and also a rematch of finals from the 2014 World Team Trials finals won by Ruth 2-1. We talked to Ed Ruth and Keith Gavin.
I'm the younger guy stepping up against this guy waiting at the top of the mountain.
I won the first match. I thought that the second match would be a little easier.
I wanted him to feel threatened, like this kid came at me hard.
I underestimated him a little bit. Well, that was a pretty dumb mistake I made.
It was like one of those moments I was like, I beat Gavin. you know?
Ed Ruth's the #1 guy right now. He beat me to take that spot. I want to gain that spot back.
Of course, I want to see him again on the mat. I respect Gavin. That makes me even more hungry. It makes me want to beat him even more.
Took me out of my style a little bit, and we pretty much have opposite styles.
Gavin's going to be sitting back and waiting. I'm going to be pushing the pace. I'm going to be in his face. I'm faster. I'm more athletic.
Most people I beat are more athletic than me, and I get my hand raised a lot. I'm a smart wrestler. I'm not going to wrestle stupid and try to do what he does.
Gavin's really good at playing the mat. Instead of taking it down to the mat, it's just everything's got to be on my feet.
Any position that's not in space, he's a little bit uncomfortable. It's just a matter of me wrestling where I want to wrestle.
Well, the second bout will feature mixed martial arts stars Gray Maynard and Dennis Bermudez. Maynard was a star at Michigan State, while Bermudez was a standout for Bloomsburg. You can catch all the action on the Flow Pro platform. You don't want to miss it. I'll tell you what, stay tuned. We'll be back right after this short timeout.
Each season, Liberty Mutual's Responsible Sports Community Grant Program awards $65,000 to youth sports organizations and school sports programs that demonstrate their commitment to responsibility in youth sports. Your organization could be one of our 20 winners this season. It's easy. Simply visit responsiblesports.com and click on the Community Grant Program. Administrators register their organization with the program, then reach out to rally parents, coaches, and team supporters to log on and review either the Responsible Sports Parenting or Responsible Coaching Guide. Then complete the quiz and showcase your mastery of the concepts. Every successfully passed quiz is worth a point that you can credit to your favorite youth sports organization or school sports program. Connect with friends, family, and neighbors to rally more support. The teams and schools with the most points at the end of the grant period win. It's that simple. Watch the leaderboard throughout the grant season, then rally more of your supporters to increase your totals. Liberty Mutual is committed to celebrating and championing youth sports and to financially supporting organizations that demonstrate their commitment to responsible sports. Join the movement and start earning points toward your community grant.
Well, the Thanksgiving weekend is the annual kickoff of the holiday season. Black Friday, of course, is followed by Small Business Saturday, Cyber Monday, and Giving Tuesday. Giving Tuesday is a global day of giving back. People across the country recognize this day with donations to charitable causes and through acts of kindness. USA Wrestling is proud to be a part of Giving Tuesday, December 2nd. We encourage all wrestling families, fans, and supporters to consider USA Wrestling when making a donation. Here's USA Wrestling's Executive Director, Rich Bender.
At USA Wrestling, less than 15% of your investment is used in administrative costs to run the organization. That means a very high percentage of every dollar that is contributed to the organization goes right to athletes in our programs. And USA Wrestling would not have the opportunity today to impact the lives of hundreds of thousands of kids if it wasn't for the generous donations from individuals all across the United States and the world.
Well, you can make your donations simply by heading over to our new website, which offers a variety of programs to support. Just head over to donate.usawrestling.org. We'd appreciate it. Well, USA Wrestling and the NCAA have recently announced a partnership to create a new competition, the NCAA USA Wrestling Youth Showcase, set for St. Louis, Missouri, March 21st and 22nd. The youth event has been added to USA Wrestling's Folkstyle Tour of America and will be held at Lindenwood University on the day after the NCAA Division I Wrestling Championships. Now, the Folkstyle event will be held for USA Wrestling's Bantam through junior age groups and will also feature a junior women's division. It'll be a great chance for wrestlers to compete alongside one of the sport's most important events, the NCAA Championships. Here's USA Wrestling's Ryan Johnson on the exciting new competition.
Well, the Tour of America in general is really growing. We're in our 8th season of the Tour of America. It's grown every year of its existence. And this is a really exciting platform for us to pair it with the top level of collegiate athletics. They have a youth component tied in with the NCAA Division I championships. It's a great time of year for it because all the high school seasons are done. A lot of the teams and clubs are gearing up towards our Folkstyle National Championships and a lot of the other nationals going on. And then we're also going to be adding, for the first time in a Tour of America, a junior women's division as well, to try and really showcase all levels of youth wrestling.
Well, this Saturday, one of the biggest rivalries in college wrestling resumes as the Iowa State Cyclones travel to Iowa City to take on its arch rival, the Iowa Hawkeyes. While a huge crowd is expected at Carver Hawkeye Arena for this annual showdown, Iowa currently ranked number 1, Iowa State number 16 in the most recent NWCA poll. Prior to the match, 3 leaders from the Iowa State program were featured in a USA Wrestling Google Plus Hangout. Cyclone head coach Kevin Jackson talked about his team.
Started off the season pretty good. We always want better. We always hope for better. But we're improving every day. Our goal is to improve in every single match and continue to work towards that NCAA championship. So we're happy where we're at right now. We just have to buckle up and be ready for Saturday.
Senior Kyvan Gadsden, an All-American at 197, gave his perspective.
There's definitely some tough guys, like you said. The defending national champ, Jaden Cox, Scott Schiller, and then you have the up-and-coming, Kyle Snyder. So for me, it's just about having fun and wrestling to score points, and if I do that, then I'll be fine.
Mike Moreno, a senior who's a title contender at 165, was also featured in the Hangout.
I have the coaches. If I trust my coaches, then they're gonna point me in the right direction. The biggest thing that I've done this year, as opposed to like previous years, is just doing what they tell me to do. You know, just putting my head down and just doing it, and training with a purpose, and you know, keeping everything in perspective.
Well, the Hawkeyes had a media day prior to the dual meet. Iowa head coach Tom Brands gave his thoughts.
Actually, the first big dual meet I ever went to was Iowa State at Hilton Coliseum, so a lot of memories. We expect what we always expect. We expect our guys to go out and compete, and I know it's important for both programs, and we want to keep moving forward the way we want to move forward, and that means that we got to be ready to go. This is our arena, and there's nothing better than competing in front of these fans.
Thomas Gilman, the Hawkeyes' 125-pound star, is ready for action.
They're going to be ready for us. They think they've trained hard. Their coaching staff has them talked up. They're going to be fired up to come and cover Hawkeye Arena, but once we put that pressure on them, I mean, they're going to fold, they're going to break. I mean, the mentality we bring to the mat, the pressure we bring, they can't hang with that. And I mean, we've proven that in the past, but we got to prove that this week too.
Iowa star Corey Clark is looking forward to his battle at 133.
I try and look at it just as another duel. I try and treat every match the same, but at the same time, it's kind of just a little bit of a grudge. Like you don't want to lose to an Iowa State guy. That's how I look at it. You don't want to lose to anybody, but can't lose to Iowa State. gotta dominate them. Gotta show them who owns the state.
Nick Moore should battle Mike Moreno in 165 in a battle royal for sure.
You got to get up for every match, so you don't want to put, you don't want to put too much pressure on yourself, but you got to get up for a match, and you know that you know who your opponent is, and he knows who you are. So yeah, you got to put a little bit extra on it.
Fans, stay tuned. We'll be back after the short timeout.
There comes a point in your life that determines who you are, whether you will lead or follow, whether you will fight or give in, whether you will win or lose, and what you will count as your victory.
Well, just last week, the Greco-Roman program at the Northern Michigan University U.S. Olympic Training Site celebrated their 15th anniversary. Well, the program started in the fall semester of 1999 and has been training Olympic hopefuls in Greco ever since. Among the stars to emerge from the Northern Michigan OTC include guys like 2008 Olympic bronze medalist Adam Wheeler, two-time world bronze medalist Justin Lester, two-time Olympian Spencer Mango, and many others. During the Bill Farrell International in New York, USA Wrestling Weekly had a chance to visit with Northern Michigan head coach Rob Herman.
Well, we need matches. I mean, our guys been training since August, and it gives them an opportunity to get out of Marquette and get some matches in and wrestle quality competition. You want 10 guys in the finals. We got 2. We got a lot of guys wrestling back for third. We lost some matches I felt like we should have won, but we got to turn those matches around, and our next tournament we should be better.
Also at the Bill Farrell International was Jason Moorman, the head women's coach at King University. They're the defending WCWA national champs. Over a month into the new season, King is still first in the WCWA rankings and will look to defend their national title come February. Here's Coach Moorman.
I feel like we've wrestled pretty well. We've had some matches we should have won, but we've also got a group that are pretty young and just getting this experience. We see a lot of the same college teams over and over, and we just want to come out here, get some international experience, get them against the senior level girls, and then, go back to the room and just try to continue to develop.
Well, the month is November, but it also means it's Movember, when men grow mustaches to raise awareness for men's health issues. We happen to know a guy who's known worldwide for his substantial stash, 2014 Greco-Roman world bronze medalist Andy Bisick. Here's a video from a recent Pikes Peak Wrestling League event in Colorado, where Bisick made an appearance at a youth tournament. If you notice, many of the young wrestlers in the crowd sported big mustaches of their own to show some respect. Misick wrestled a couple of the kids, but unlike at the World Championships, he was taken to the mat by some very young warriors. We want to thank Andy for having such a great sense of humor and for his commitment to being a great role model for youth wrestlers. And good luck on the stash, bud. You can feel the excitement starting to build around this year's Grapple at the Garden now in New York City. It'll be held December 21st at the world's most famous arena. Just this week, a huge banner of Kyle Dake of Team USA and Arsen Gilifalakian of Armenia was placed at the entrance to the Garden. The match will be the main event of an already packed card. Also this week, Olympic organizers announced the mascots for the Rio Olympics, which are inspired by the animals and plants of Brazil. What do you think? You can now have your voices heard. Vote on the names for the mascots on the Rio 2016 Twitter feed or on the website you see on your screen. It's important you let your voices be heard. Well, it's time for our USA Wrestling Photo of the Week contest. The pics are sent in by wrestling families and fans from around the USA and are being considered for our photo contest page in our USA Wrestler magazine and our USA Wrestling Facebook page. This week's picture was sent in by Bryson Anderson, and it shows his younger brother, 5-year-old Norman Anderson from the Fife Thunder Wrestling Club of Washington, pinning an opponent with a sweet cradle. Have your photographs considered for USA Wrestling's photo contest simply by emailing them to the very hardworking Gary Abbott at gabbott@usawrestling.org. Folks, that'll do it for this week's show. It's our Thanksgiving show, and from all of us at USA Wrestling, we are so thankful for you watching. I'm Scott Casper, and have a good one, everybody.